So here, at long last, I'm finally going to do a running session of all the 00 gauge Reverend Awdry replica models I have made, with notable exceptions, which I will point out later. So let us start with Edward. Hornby 2P class. A little bit graunchy, but you expect that with a model of this age. Very good runner. Toby. Custom build on a modern Hornby 040 chassis. It's not really much to look at, it's just a garden shed on wheels, isn't he? Donald. Donald is one of my favourites. He's one of the smoothest running models I own in my entire collection, not just my Awdry replicas. I could get his tender to behave. There we go. Nearly crawls, if you've noticed, deciding to play. One. Wake up. Nah. Not quite. Come on, wakey wakey. Keep. There we go. Right, so next is Henry. Henry is a bit of a nightmare to work with, as he does not always want to run. Ironically, much like the Reverend's original model, he will very rarely start smoothly. If at all. Oh, there we go. Good morning. If I don't overrun the edge of the track, he might do the return trip. Smooth starting is not something Henry can do, but considering the weight of the lead body that this poor little XO4 motor has to try and move, I'm on honestly not surprised. I should really change the gearing for this so that it can actually run a bit better, but I don't have the gears to do that at the moment. Next is Gordon. Gordon you will have seen a sneak peek of, to those of you who keep up with my Twitter, because I just a few hours ago changed his wheels for some period Romfords. So he runs much, much better than he used to. He's a very nice model. And quite quick as well. Absolutely beautiful runner, he really is. One of the best models I've ever built. Next, my personal favourite of the five Thomas models rather that I own, which is the Trianginty. This one is amazing. Bet you've never seen an XO4 motor that's capable of crawling. You have now. The smoothest runner I own in my entire collection. This thing is a masterpiece. Love it to bits. And next is the hilarious little reed path lookalike that I built. This thing is not particularly agreeable, I will be honest. But sometimes your stroke doesn't work. I can't get him to do slow speeds, usually. And definitely not smoothly, because it's actually a 6-volt motor bodged into a Duplo 2-rail chassis. So I don't tend to run him very often or for very long. Another very good runner, Spare Percy, or Percy Mark II. Built out of a Triang Nelly. Which if he doesn't stall, absolutely brilliant. A little bit graunchy here and there, but well, when you're 60 years old, what isn't? And honourable mentions. Marco Percy, who currently does not have a motor, It's another Nelly chassis, but this time with Great Western King piston rods. He's quite a nice one. I really do want to finish him. The parts at the moment. Also, Mavis, who is still awaiting the nameplates and Farquhar Quarry Company Limited transfers. Mavis should actually run, but for some reason she doesn't. I don't know why. I'm looking into it. And also James, the famous red engine. He used to run, and he ran relatively well up until recently, when his motor windings burnt out. So, yeah, I need to get him a new motor, which I don't have at the moment, would you believe? Otherwise I would have put it in and made him run for this particular video. Another one that ran up until recently. E2 Thomas. He never ran very well to start with, and again his motor winding had burnt out quite recently, so he's another semi-static display piece at the moment, but I'm working on it. And here's one that has never run in its entire history. The very first custom 00 gauge Thomas that I ever made. We all have to start somewhere, and this is where I began. The lining and smoke box aren't even paint, they're just red and black Sharpie. It's warped, it's cracked, it's in no fit state to still exist. The original wheels to the chassis are long gone, so I've replaced them. But yeah, it's still here. Just. And one that I am still actively working on, the Stuart Reedpath shell. Just got one side of the lining done at the moment, but it's getting there. And the motor is steadily progressing. Yes, that's every single Reverend Awdry model that I've built, and the ones that can run do. And one more thing that I have built. This is completely inaccurate to both the models and the books, but I figured since Gordon is an A1 or an A0, it would be quite fitting to build a corridor tender for him. So I had a spare one, so I painted it up in Northwestern colours, and there you go. So, I hope you enjoyed watching, and to those of you who are inevitably going to ask me about the Gauge 1 Thomas, yes, I am still working on him, just not very actively at the moment. You can expect an update possibly June or July at the earliest. Yeah, he's still coming along. These are what I'm focusing on at the moment because they go a lot faster, literally and figuratively. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you so much for the amount of subscribers and views that I've gained on all the videos building these things. I'm glad that so many people like watching a madman in his bedroom paint models. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.